What up, world? You already know what this is. Carl West of the brand. It's about 4 or 5 and some change. You know what I'm doing? I'm in these streets, putting in work. So I had something in mind this morning, right? Think about one of my clients, or ex-clients. So, first let me talk about this, right? So when someone seeks a trainer, number one, you have to respect the trainer, right? You won't train with anyone unless you respect them. You admire their physique. You respect their mind. You appreciate their hearts. So on and so forth. You would not get a trainer unless they had those qualities. Unless they knew what they was doing. Correct? Cool. Am I right or am I right? So I had a client. Let's say her name was Tanesha. So Tanesha, she would never do what I asked her to do. And every single thing that I asked her to do, she complained about. And that's one thing about me, is that I won't ask anyone to do what I'm not willing to do or I haven't done. So with Tanesha, for example, I said, look, Tanesha, I need you to go run 2 miles. You know, she complained, 2 miles? I don't want to do 2 miles. 2 miles, that's a lot. Cool. I understand it's a lot. It's supposed to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be challenging. So she does 1 mile and she comes back in and she says, I said, damn, you came back early. That was quick. She was like, well, that was only 1 mile. I ain't doing the other one. I said, okay. Well, it's like, she was like, what else you got for me? I said, I'm gonna need you to go back outside and finish the other mile. She was like, no, I'm not doing it. At that time, I was already fed up with her, because that's her personality. She don't never want to do nothing I ask her to do. So I said, you know what? You can leave. She looked at me all dumbfounded, but I was serious. So you can leave. What's the point of coming to a trainer if you're not willing to do what they ask you to do? You know? And then she just stayed there. She was like, what else you want me to do? I said, look, you can leave. Because if you do not want to do anything I ask you to do, then what's the point of you being here? You know, previous days, I asked her to do stuff. She was like, why are we doing this? I asked her to pick up this 15-pound weights. That's too heavy. Can I use the 10? Look, I understand some people's personalities are set up like that. But sometimes you have to set aside this shit. Be like, you know what? He asked me to pick up the 15. I'm gonna pick up the 15, at least try, right? So, some people may look at my personality or my job, you know, and think that I want to abuse the power. You know, like I'm doing this shit to boost my ego. Because, you know, I want people to do this, that, and the third, and they better do it. Like I'm some motherfucking, you know, power-driven, egotistical maniac. I do this stuff to get my rocks off type of shit. No, I just know what it takes to be successful. So, you know what? When I do what I do, I seek my wisdom from people that I respect. I seek my wisdom from people that already did has already been where I'm trying to go. So if they wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, guess what? I'm gonna try waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. If they do 500 push-ups a day, I bet that I'm gonna do 500 push-ups a day. You know, if they say they pray 3 times a day, guess what? I'm gonna pray 3 times a day. I respect them. I respect their mind, and I respect their accomplishments and their reason, their integrity, their intentions behind what they say. You know, with me, like I said, for anybody, I don't just go around telling people to do some shit that's pointless. I feel like they won't benefit them. I don't just make up shit off the top of my head, right? She was like, well, you know, because she already told me she's trying to build her legs, right? All right. So what I asked her to do one morning was 300 lunges. It took her almost the whole, you know, after the warm-up, it took about a good 35, 40 minutes to do so. She was like, and she came in the next day, she was like, basically complaining about the training. It's like, that's it? That's all you have to do? Have me do is one exercise? I don't look at that as training and such and such. You see, when it comes to that, in order to build a strong mind, in order to build a strong body, you gotta train the mind. You gotta do a bunch of shit that's hard, repetitious, and redundant a lot of times, you know? Like a lot of times, you have to do a bunch of shit that's not fun. When you seek fun, a lot of times you won't get the results that you want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a task that you absolutely hate, that you absolutely won't do at home, and then make you do a shitload of them. Why? Because that hardens up your mind, and then next time, like for example, she did 300, right? Well, next time somebody asks her to do 100, she's like, that'd be a breeze. Because she already knows what it feels like to do 300 reps. She's already built that strength and endurance to overcome 300 reps. So what's 100, right? Man, all this shit is building the mind, it's strengthening the mind. That's it. Creating discipline. But if you don't have a strong mind, you will fail at mostly anything in the face of adversity. So before you can become champion at anything, you got to work on your mind. Man, I respect my elders. I respect not only my elders, but I really take heed to people that been where I'm trying to go. Because I know their intentions. All these books I read, I follow the masters, man, you know. I follow the people that's doing this shit. That's out here living this shit, you know. Not people that just, you know, sit at home and they got their book knowledge, but their practical knowledge. People that's out here putting in this work. So anyway, that's my little rant. But all this stuff, to sum it up, respect your master. Do as your master asks you to do so you can become a master. Most important, master of your mind. So you can do whatever the fuck is presented in front of you. To close it off, Tanesha lost about 10 pounds with me. But since she stopped training with me, she gained about 20 back in 2 weeks. Because without training with me, she sat on her ass and did nothing. Instead of sucking this shit up and putting in the work, regardless of what she felt like doing. Don't be Tanesha.